Missed you guys, missed everything. Sorry, took a little hiatus, had pneumonia, was in the hospital, but we are back. We are missing our counterpart, Miss Erin, today. So, sending her lots of love. She's got children home, so it was a little too chaotic for her to join. But hello, gorgeous co host, my husband, Izzy. How are you today, babe?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Everything's going on the up and up. So, especially with you not having pneumonia anymore, that's awesome. I mean, you're still dealing with the after effects, but I mean, we knew that was
Yeah,
still.
I mean, I wouldn't wish pneumonia on even anyone. I mean, it's the worst. I am to this day even still exhausted, but I couldn't wait to get back to work. But I wanted to wish all our veterans out there a very happy Veterans Day. My dad included in that.
Oh,
So just sending well wishes. Thank you for your service. And we'll get started with our topic for today, parenting horror stories.
uh-huh.
So, parenting is not exactly easy, not exactly hard. We enjoy it, we love it, but there are some scary, scary stories that come along with it. I wanted to start out with parenting that happened to me. Let's put
Mhm.
it that way. So parenting that happened my parents did to me. So I wanted to share a little story of when I was 3 years old. My parents had a huge conversion van, and you know the little doilies that are around the chairs. I used to hide under them, believe it or not. Well, my mom went to the grocery store, loaded up the car. My sister and my brother were in that car. They got home, found out they left me at the store. They came back to the grocery store and found me holding my bag of Pampers, and I hadn't moved from that spot. So that was a little scary for me, to say the least. I don't remember it happening. I just remember the story being told to me. But Izzy, did your mom or dad or anyone ever do anything crazy or shocking to you when you were younger?
Most of the things that's happened in my life has kind of happened to me. I got one in particular. It was 4th of July, and I think I was maybe like 7, 8 years old, and my dad was incarcerated. Yeah, at that time, so it was just mom, me, and my two sisters. Um, my mom. I mean, we lived a humble life, so she didn't have much money for fireworks and stuff. So I kind of like snuck out of the house through a window
Oh, wow.
on the second floor while she was cooking. I mean, I still remember this vividly. Um, I just went looking around my neighborhood, my block, looking for fireworks, something that goes boom or up in the air, something, anything. So the person across the street was my buddy, and my buddy had fireworks, and I was helping them with their fireworks. So they were kind of winding down and ready to go in the house when they gave me the rest of their fireworks, and then that's when I got so excited. They're like, "But we don't have any more matches. We don't have any more anything to light it up, but you can have it." So I was excited. I was uber excited, and this was probably like in 1998, something like that, 98, 99, something like that, when the cars were, made of like steel, like
Okay.
real steel. So they were heavy duty cars. Um, I got so excited that I ran across the street, and as I was running across the street, somebody that was zooming down the street ended up hitting me on my side, my left side.
Oh,
Um,
no.
yeah. And I literally went flying. I was a little thing, I was maybe like not even like 80 pounds, 90 pounds, if that. And when I got hit, I went like about three car lengths. And the only thing that happened to me is when I got hit, I went flying those three car lengths. And when I came down in between two cars, I hit my forehead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I smack dab with the asphalt. The guy was he was responsible, and he waited. My neighbors came out, grabbed me, and And they told me, "Oh, let's ring the doorbell. Let's get your mom out here." I panicked and I told them, "No, don't do that." I panicked and I said, "No, don't do that. Let's go ahead and I'll go back the way I came." So I tried to act nonchalant, not knowing that I had a huge goose egg on my head. Like literally, it was humongous. And my mom was still cooking at the time. And I innocently went into the kitchen looking for some matches or like a light or something so I could pop off my fireworks, even though this happened. Within seconds, my mom saw me, freaked out, yelling, screaming, and says, "What happened? What happened?" I'm like, "I got hit outside, mom. I'm okay though," but clearly I wasn't okay. And when she saw me, she went into mommy mode, and that's when she went ahead and just panicked. She didn't have a bra on. She had a muumuu on. She went outside. She looked around, and the guy was still there. And he's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And he let us hop into his car. And he took me to the hospital with my mom. What's up, buddy?
See, parenting at its finest.
Say hi. All right, go chill, baby. I'm doing my stuff. Thank you.
See, parenting at its finest. We never get a break, even when we're working.
You ain't lying. The muumuu's where is that? The muumuu's where is that? But
I'm getting to that age now where I realize it's much easier just to get an all one-stop shop outfit instead of worrying about the pants tops. I mean, I have to say I can agree with your mom on the muumuu front. I do.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it not too long ago about the incident, and like I recapped a little bit of what was going on that day and that night actually, because it was nighttime when this happened. So the guy let us get in the car, and in the back seat, my mom was just kind of like rubbing my head. I was laying down in the back of there. I'm pretty sure it was a Caprice. It was like an old box Chevy Caprice. And my mom's rubbing my head, and we're maybe like 10, 15 minutes away from the hospital. And all I kept looking at my mom and telling her, "It's okay, mommy, it's okay. I'm sleepy. I want to sleep." And she looked at me dead in my eyes and told me, "Do not go to sleep because there might be a chance that you will die." I have never been awake so hard.
Why is it mothers are the only ones besides dads that can literally instill fear in you just by one simple glance or one simple word? And you are literally, panic stricken, you go into flight mode quickly.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was 0.56 seconds. I felt longer when I got hit by the car and I was flying in the air and hit my head than the time that I actually spent with my mom, because my mom was literally scared to death of what would happen if I went to sleep. And now that I'm older, I understand why she said that, and I'm glad for that knowledge too, and the trial and tribulation, of course. But the good news is the doctors did CAT scans. They did all those things that they needed to do at the hospital, of course, while my mom was still in the muumuu. And my mom just told me the right from wrong, and the doctor said that I was okay. I had a very minor concussion, even though my forehead was literally like a balloon, to the point where I could just go home with ibuprofen. That's what they said. So thank God that was the only thing that I had to deal with. No brain bleeding, nothing like that. Nothing too serious. But at that time, my mom went into I think that's the most horrifying thing I've done to my mom. And I told her, even as an adult, I told her, "I'm sorry, Mom. I just wanted to get some fireworks. I know we were tight on money. So I wanted to kind of take some relief off your shoulders, and I could find my own little stash of fireworks if I could." So I got plenty of those kind of things. Also, I think I think my dad told me I was about three. I was about 3. It was right before he went to jail, or prison actually. Uh, my dad was going up to the north side of Chicago, and my mom told him to. Actually, I think he might have told my mom for me to go with him. He always like spending a lot of time with me, high quality time. And he would always put me in the front seat. Back then, things like that didn't matter, you know. But he was maybe going like 40 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, I opened the door to his car, and I almost go out flying. And right before I was about to go out flying with the car door, I mean, these are the old school cars. I think we always had like Chevy Caprice, Monte Carlos, things like that, the heavy duties. Um, and literally, my dad said he had to extend his whole arm and just grab me before I went flying out the door going 40 miles an hour. And
Oh no.
the funny part about it is my dad didn't tell my mom until he came out of, prison. Over, I think he did 6-7 years, something like that. And my mom freaked out. And I'm like, I don't know. I was too young to remember, ma. So, and she kind of looked at me like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, I don't know.
If we don't tell the story, then it never happened, right?
True.
But thank God for child locks now.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have.
I might have been the guinea pig for the child locks.
Well, I want to check in with people that are tuning in. Izzy, would you like to see who's checking in with us?
Of course, beautiful Erin. She's right here saying, "Hey friends." I may not be in a muumuu right now, currently. So, hey, that's. I'm trying to get Karen into the muumuus, but she's reluctant. It's up until the point she puts one on. We'll see.
I haven't taken the plunge on that yet, but I may.
True. Rebecca says hi, everyone. Hi, Rebecca.
Hey, Miss Rebecca.
Leanne says, love y'all. Love thy muumuu. That sounds about right to me. I mean, they look comfortable. I think because my half brother, he's half Arab, so they kind of have the longer shirts. I was thinking about maybe rocking one.
Maybe.
That's like a man muumuu, I think. I don't want to be, like wrong or anything, but that's what it looks like to me. I know there's a name to it, and maybe in the next episode I'll come back and give y'all the actual name to it, but yeah.
And then Miss Erin said that happened to me as a kid. I got my sweatshirt sleeves stuck in a car door and got dragged for a hot minute. Oh no. Oh no, that is. Oh, poor girl. I hope you were okay after that. I know that was traumatizing. That kind of reminds me of something that happened to me as a kid. I know my dad tells the story better. He had a Trans Am, and I know we were leaving Kmart, and I had also done the same thing, but I had scraped up the bottom of my hands. But cars are a dangerous thing. I mean, raise your hand if you've ever gotten your kid's finger stuck in a door. I am super guilty of this. I have done this many of times.
Not many a times. It's not like more than a handful. I think
not intentionally, but it happened.
But they kind of did it to themselves. But that's another thing. My dad had a Crown Victoria, and we didn't realize how heavy that that trunk door is on a Crown Vic. And we were in New York. I remember this because I was older at that point. I was in my teens. And we're taking out all the luggage. I'm a big daddy's boy, after the fact of my mom. Big mama's boy. I love my mama. Fun fact, I actually slept with my mom most of the time that my dad was incarcerated. So big mama's boy. But at that time that my dad got out, I really wanted to learn everything, wanted to kind of get into a how can I say, in a routine with my dad. So I would help him with everything that he needed help with. So one day while we're in New York visiting family, my great aunts and all these other things, We're taking everything out. Everything's out. And then I'm not paying attention, but 4 of my fingers are on the cusp of the trunk. And I'm just talking to my dad. We're chit-chatting back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, all I hear is a slam. Bloop! And I look down, and I started to panic. I kind of tried to keep my cool. I tried to keep my cool at that time, but it didn't pan out too well. Not when you got 4 digits in a trunk. And then to put it on into simpler terms, my mom had the keys to the car, so I had to sit there for it felt like an eternity, but it was like more like 5 minutes or less. And my fingers were all just jumbled up. I was like, what?
I mean, but us as parents, we've had our share of what's the word I'm looking for? Car accidents involving children. So we had just went on a big trip to Chicago and just come home, and the kids were asleep in what we thought their car seats. And being parents, we left the car on, so the heat was still going. It was freezing cold outside. And we were unpacking the car and taking everything in. Well, next thing we know, we hear a bang. And there's a tree right in front of our car, of course. Well, the twins decided to wake up. One was working the pedal and one was working the steering wheel. Luckily, they were not hurt. The car was, but that was a extremely scary moment, Izzy. I know that we were kind of hesitant to share that story with anyone, but anything goes when it comes to parenting. I mean, nobody can tell the same story.
Oh no. Yeah, I remember that. So let's do a quick check-in because we're having a lot of activity in the.
I know. I was laughing at some stuff I had seen.
Something horrifying. This is from Aaron. Something horrifying that happened to my son when he was 2. He swapped out 5 pennies. Well, he swallowed 5 pennies and pooped out a nickel. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good exchange rate. I mean, he didn't lose a penny.
That is too funny. And, we have a story similar to that, too. You want to tell Aria's story?
Which one?
The nose story.
What, the notorious nose stuffer, Aria? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
So, for some odd reason, my twin daughter had this thing where she loved stuffing cotton swabs, pretty much anything that she could just roll up and put it in her nose. And it went on for a bit. We took it to the doctor. We did all that stuff, and all they said was, "Oh, maybe it's something dental because she had bad breath." So I kind of shrugged it off. I tried to fix it multiple times. The doctors didn't really have any answers for us.
And find out.
And then I kind of, because of some things that happened in my past, I had a couple of little medical supplies with me. And I started kind of digging into her nose, and I'm like, man, let me find out what's going on here, because I just put my finger over her nose, and I noticed that one side was breathing and the other side wasn't. I'm like, why didn't the pediatrician figure this out for me? That's when I just went digging. I went digging for gold. That's that was kind of like the gist behind it. I told Karen, I'm digging for gold. Forget it. I need to figure this out my damn self. And after about 5-10 minutes, I think I pulled out enough for a big size marble, one of those big marbles that come in the pack. And then it was just mucus and just a bunch of crazy different.
We don't have to explain what was in the cotton swab, but the smell was ungodly. But thank you that you found it, because I don't even know how she, was able to wedge that into her nose. It's amazing the things kids can actually find, and put in their little orifices, or, clog up the toilet with, or anything, just in a matter of seconds too. They're little magicians when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But checking in with Miss Erin, I was babysitting my brothers on the Halloween weekend, and we decided to carve pumpkins, and I went inside to check on my AOL Messenger, and he sliced his finger halfway off. Never babysat again.
Oof.
Oh no, poor baby.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another time babysitting my brothers, and we played hide and seek. I got tired of looking for them, but they were in my parents' car trunk. Moral of the story: Erin does not need to babysit yet. I'm here raising kids. Girl, we feel you on that front. We do. We do. We, to this day, wonder how we managed to keep 5 children alive, and how beautiful and smart and, courageous they have become. But it is not easy. Parenting is literally, what is the best saying for that? It's a one day at a time process with children. Definitely is. So, what is the moral of the parenting horror stories that we wanted to convey today? What we wanted to convey with these whole parenting stories is to let you know that you are a great parent. You are doing the best you can, and parenting is never perfect. So we just want to shout out to all the parents joining us today to let you know that you are doing an amazing job, and you're not the only one that makes mistakes. But Izzy, which direction do you want to move in parenting wise? Do you want to go to the super scary stories or the more tamed ones? I'll let you.
It's really on the audience, I guess. If they really want to hear some gory stuff, I got some gory stuff.
I kind of want to tell the story of how Nikki lost her finger. I thought that would have been a good one.
It is. Definitely is.
So we had just moved into the house we are living in now. Excuse me. Pneumonia still giving me trouble. Anyway, so we had to get rid of a kennel because the HOA did not like us having one. So we put our pit bull on what we call the lane lines, the metal ones with the coating covering. Well, she accidentally got stuck around a tree. Our daughter, being the most gracious, beautiful thing she is, decided, well, Mom, I'll help you out and I'll go untangle the dog from around the tree. Next thing we know, the dog is super happy to see Nikki, as always, and saw me coming outside to help feed the dog. Well, she ran towards me. Nikki's finger was caught in the landline, and it didn't get cut off. It literally was pulled off. But you have never seen a mom.
It's a leash line, babe.
Yeah, but you had never seen a mom get her car keys, a rag, and get into the car and get to the hospital so fast. Oh yeah, I know you remember those days.
Oh yeah.
But Izzy, is there any other stories you would like to mention today? I know we're doing a short little session today since we're trying to get back into the work grind since I've been out for so long.
Let's see. I was working at Circle K, and I think Kylie was 7. No, she was maybe what, 8, 7, 8.
She was littler, yeah.
Actually, about 7, 8. And we used to have those big tube TVs, like the 35, 40-inch tube TVs.
Oh, I know this story.
And I'm over here working. I'm working because I worked third shifts at that time. Me and Karen would kind of yin yang the responsibilities. So she'd work during the day, I work during the night, so on and so forth. And Kylie, my second oldest, thought it would be a good idea to stay up. And you, being a nice mom, said, yeah, that's fine. You can stay up for a little bit. And Kylie thought it would be a good idea to climb on top of the TV or move the TV. I can't remember. Was it climb or move?
I was taking care of the newborn twins at the time. So Unfortunately,
So
that's
I'm
where
gonna
I
have to
messed
ask
up
her.
in my parenting, and I wasn't quite keeping my eye on her like I should have.
Well, she was just sitting there. She was just, not doing anything.
Or so we thought.
Um, and then about what was it, like 12, 11, 12, something like that? You gave me a call panicking, saying that the TV fell on Kylie's foot. And as I was coming home, because I left work immediately, when it comes down to the kiddos, I'm gone. I gotta do what I gotta do. So when I go and check on her, she literally sliced almost half of her big, what is it? Thumb? Not
Her
thumb.
big toe, yeah.
Big toe. Her big toe, and had to kind of glue it and take care of it right then and there before we went to the hospital and got it taken care of. But that was pretty crazy because you could see the bone. You remember that? We could see the bone, you could see everything in it. And it was just like a whole, like, just mashed up toe. Thank God that everything went good. We reacted, pretty quick and got her to the hospital to where, it didn't affect her, physically or any other way.
Moral of the story, don't ever be afraid to take your child to the hospital. The hospitals ask the questions for certain reasons, but it's not necessarily to judge you on your parenting.
Exactly.
I had to learn that firsthand with all of our kids. So have no fear to ever take your kid to the hospital if they do need treatment.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that for today, guys. I know I'm sorry it's a short session today, but I want everybody to be aware that they are great parents and you guys can do this, and just to take it one day at a time with them. As they get older, they get more difficult, let's say. But Izzy, you want to take us out with the warm line?
Yep. The warm line's free, confidential, and 24/7. The number's 833-390-7728. And they're there to listen and to hear and be in a judgment-free zone.
And sending love and well wishes to everyone that joined us today. Sending love to Miss Erin. Hopefully we'll all be back next Thursday all together. And we'll see you guys next Thursday. Sending love.